Solidarity forever.
Good morning. My name is Comrade Emiela Solomon from Oyo State in Ibadan. I want to give account on Free Oyo 11 NSAS protesters that has been in prison since November 13, 2020. During the NSAS protest at Ojo, which led to massacre that took place at Ojo Roundabout, led by in person of Chief Superintendent Alalade David, now promoted to Assistant Commissioner of Police in Ibadan. About 10 to 18 persons were died, and we have up to 36 victims, in which after the protest on 2010-2020 at Ojo Roundabout, we've not heard anything. On November 13, that was when we start having records that protesters are being picked up from their various homes. The staff from Adeshina Ademuyiwa, who lives around Niger, closer to First Bank, around 2 a.m., led by Sunday and a police officer called Sunday. He was the head of anti-robbery squad who escorted the previous DPU in person of Chief Superintendent Alalade David, then gave the instructions that they should disperse the protesters with bullets. He was the first person that started, and immediately he started shooting at the protesters. The person that shot protesters were the one that led the squad. He used nose masks. He used this I don't know the name they call it, a mask to cover his face. And when they got to their houses, they did not knock. Even people were afraid that because at that stage, at that period in time, the state of security is volatile. Then people were afraid. They thought it is criminals or the robbers that are coming. When they hear the sound, hitting the walls, they broke their doors in to arrest them. Meanwhile, Adesina from his own house, he has a wife that is pregnant. He was picked up on the bed with his wife, kept the lady in panic mode, and the in-law, that is our sister Eunice, she followed them to know where they are taking the guy to. Why will you arrest the son of my daughter? They hit the woman with gun on her face there. The mark is still there up to today. And since then, they said if they follow them, they will be killed. When they got to beside First Bank at Olororo, they have to throw the guy, all these wicked ways of dehumanization being led to the torture of them. They have to throw him up and remove their ends. And the guy fell. The woman was like, Emma pa. Nobody could rise up to her rescue on that day. The judge in charge of the matter, in person of Justice Moshood Abbas, got promotion to President of Court of Appeal during the trial after he had listened to 7 witnesses from the camp of the police.
The ruling elite, in their wickedness, have they have weaponized the hunger of our people. The other day, Mr. President Buhari went to his hometown, and you see a lot of people still coming out and shouting hallelujah. This is a place where a whole lot of people have been killed and will still be killed. In fact, the bandits got enough courage 2 days ago to say that they will even kidnap the president himself. They will kidnap El-Rufai. And I tell you, the people could blast Kuje prison in Kaduna and in Abuja, less than 20 kilometers away from the seat of power, and recorded it, and were there for 2 hours, 45 minutes. And there was nothing. They were not even confronted. They were not even chased. They are not even pursued. Then what is happening? And our people will still, if you look at all the elections, when people come out, all these wicked governors, wicked chairmen of local government and all these legislatures, they come out, they just bring out crumbs of money and then drums, and people will still be coming out. They have turned the hunger and the poverty of our people to a means of exploitation. Held by the Radical Agenda Movement in the Nigerian Bar Association, Ramimba, and the Take It Back Movement, /NSAS United. Today, Monday, the 25th of July, 2020, 2022. Gentlemen of the press, you welcome. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I'm sorry. We have been lawyers, we are used to say gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, you are welcome to this press conference called at the instance of the two organizations or three organizations you just mentioned, the Radical Agenda Movement, a member, the Take It Back Movement, and the NSAS United. You are welcome. Our organizations express our huge displeasure at the way both the Lagos State and Oyo States have conducted themselves as regards NSAS protesters and their conditions. The agony, let's start with Oyo State. Agony of NSAS protesters still in prison custody in Lagos and Oyo State. In Oyo State, the government has been dealing wickedly with the NSAS victims, labeled as armed robbers. We call on the Oyo State government to end the agony of these innocent NSAS protesters and withdraw the information filed against them or do the necessary by diligent prosecution. We have a growing list of all the NSAS protesters still in different prisons or what they call custodial centers, to the end of giving them, these individuals, funds said to be strictly personally from the governor of Lagos State pocket, from the pocket of the government himself, of the governor himself, as a form of palliative, pending when the federal government will implement the recommendations of the panel. We also have information that as of Saturday, just 2 days ago, another tranche of 1.7 million naira was given to each of these protesters behind the back of Ramimba and without our approval. We want to say that we denounce the ugly transaction, that is Ramimba, Take It Back Movement, NSAS United. Speaking for ourselves, we debunk, we denounce this ugly transaction. It's irresponsible, and we see it as nothing more than a calculated exploitation of the misery, of the hunger, of the poverty of these NSAS victims. Yes, towards calculated political ends. And what is the political ends? Too clear. There is still the intention, one, to reopen Lekki Ajah toll gate. And we've had credible information, Lekki Link Bridge. Yes, on August 1. That intention. And of course, the government, the governor of Lagos State wants to win again. Their election is coming. They are just throwing carrots and throwing bananas to these people as if they are monkeys. But our conscience cannot be bought. No. It can never be bought. So now we want to say we are resisting the reopening of Lekki toll gate on August 1, 2022. Like I've said, we have it on good authority that the entire aim of the Lagos State government is to reopen the Lekki toll gate without further resistance. On 1st August 2022, we hereby give notice that we are prepared to receive the planned reopening of the Lekki toll gates on the said date. We are perturbed that the Lagos State government, despite the findings of the Kuobi-led panel to the contrary, is intent on erasing the verdict of history that many NSAS protesters were massacred and hell-bent on reopening the toll gate, the Lekki Ikoyi link bridge or whatever, by fire and by force. So, gentlemen, this is the situation. And we owe it a responsibility to the whole world and to the press and to our legacy that we are not part of these shenanigans, because stories will be going about and they will twist things, and we have made our accusation open. We are waiting for their response to denounce it and say it's a lie. Nothing of such happened. It's a figment of our imagination, or they should come up with some justification, excuses for what they have done. And then it is not going to be tomorrow that, oh, when you know all this, why did you keep quiet? If indeed it is true, why didn't you speak up as at the time that you knew? We don't want to be seen as accomplices after the fact, or that we are collaborators or people who have been appeased. We did not sanction it. We did not approve it. We did not benefit from it. And we are saying all those tactics and shenanigans and antics will fail. Yes. The people of Lagos State, the people of Nigeria deserve good governance and accountability and transparency from their government. And it's on this that we stand.